Welcome to In the Company of Men, where real men talk. Today I'll be discussing male pressures, and joining me will be creative entrepreneur Chuka Obi, international broadcast journalist Gbenga Aborowa, and the awesome Alistair Englebert Preston. Let's get it on. Now look, you live quite a public life, and so you're a photographer, photographer, unofficial influencer, emerging TV star, and Apple just extraordinary.
Yeah,
Thank you very
exactly.
much.
And also all-round awesome master.
Master.
Yeah.
But that's what the public sees,
Mhm.
right? Is it safe to say that what the public sees is true? Are you someone living such an awesome life that you have no pressures, you have no issues, you're just that 24/7 awesome? Or do you deal with it? Because in our society, there's this idea of men as, almost always on point, having to be 100 all the damn time. How do you deal with that? Or is it something that you're just so awesome that you don't see it at all?
There's this thing, what is it called? Okonkwo said. In English, it's basically if no one hails you, you hail yourself. In my head, how I see that is this. So as a man, a lot of times, all the things that you go through, all of the issues that you go through and everything, you just do what you gotta do. And then you just ginger yourself by yourself. And that's what the awesomeness is about. It's a mindset. Just say to yourself, you need to just constantly be in a place where you can't let things get to you. Because, guy, there's no awesomeness every all to 247. There's not. There's just so much, so much you go through every day. And that if I had to tell somebody and say, oh, hey, you know what, sit down and listen to everything I have to go through every day, and please help me, hug me, give me a hug so that I can feel better. It won't happen. So I just prop myself up and this saying about how an agama falls from an iroko tree to the floor, and nobody hails him, but he just hails himself because he survived. That's why the anagama nods its head, because it's always hailing itself. It's not always awesome.
Okay, so I'll leave Lizard King for a minute and pivot to Chuka, because Chuka had this look like I don't know why I came up for a TV show, we're discussing lizard and feelings. So Chuka, as a man, do you go through pressures, and are those pressures self-imposed or societally imposed?
It's all of them.
Okay, and how do you cope?
I think that the first way that I cope is to know that everybody goes through it. Whether they lie to themselves or not, they all go through it. A story that I heard a long time ago that made me, okay, it was a story of Archbishop Benson Idahosa, because he was a big deal, and this man was, from miracles to a massive ministry and all. And the story was told that he used to go home sometimes and he would just go and lay his head on his wife's lap and just be lamenting about the things he was going through. You don't see that part, right? But even he needed an outlet, right? Anybody that doesn't have pressure, in my opinion, is either a liar or 6 feet under. It's one of the above. Whether you choose to pretend is a different discussion, right? You're asking if it was self-imposed or society-imposed. It's both. Okay. Self, because nobody wants to remain where they are, first of all.
Okay.
So I know where I came from. I grew up in Ilaje Bariga and in Shomolu. The two places I grew up in, Folaguru. And you start off as a child. And of course, there's first of all pressure, which is society imposed, where how can you, it's one thing that you came second. It's another thing that you came second and the girl that came first. Gist already. Then you go into secondary school. You are living in this place But all of a sudden, you have secondary schools around you. I went to CMS Grammar School, and there were like 6 different schools. Ajayi Crowder, St. Luke, Eva Delaja for girls. And now there's pressure because there are girls around. But that pressure that's coming to you, you're still, if you're lucky, having some sort of pocket money to go to school with. So what are you going to deal with this pressure with? The only thing you can deal with is probably if you're lucky or if you are smart enough, you're smart, right? That passes. You're still growing up. But you know, okay, this is where you came from. But you know this is where you cannot stay. Then you go to university. If your parents don't have money, you don't have money. There's pressure. Again. Now, what are you going to do to make sure that you can make ends meet? And the pressure is not something that happens as because you have money or because you're bigger. It's always been there. If you entered bus with your guys, you can lap if there are no girls that you're seeing. Or they don't. Then when you're in the bus, in the damn full bus.
Is that your pressure monitor?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Then all of a sudden, there's always that untold pressure to pay for someone that is younger than you in the bus, regardless of how much you really had with you. So it's always there. Then you get the job, you start trying to make things happen. Pressure to get it better and get better and get better. Society is there, your own is there. It's both imposed.
But arguably, outside of there's a woman there. All these pressures apply to men and women.
Yes.
I think I'm interested in knowing what the pressures are for you as a man.
Here's the way it's about being a man. No matter what happens in our society, no matter what happens, it is not the woman's job to provide. It's a bonus if she provides. It's a bonus. She's helping you if she provides. It is your job to provide. And provision is not that you got married. Provision is family, whether it is the family you were born into or the family you married into.
Black tax.
So, and I mean, they call it black tax. I don't really see it as black tax. It is what it is.
It's the man tax.
It's man tax.
Man tax.
It's basically man tax.
Yeah.
I grew up in a house where Abacha had
It's your
happened
house?
to Nigeria,
Okay.
right? And all of a sudden, you're seeing things deteriorate. You're watching it happen to the point where you now start things that you go from gas to Abacha stove. You know, and it's not an instant thing. It's gas. Then it's gas for certain occasions. Then it is gas and kerosene. Then it's kerosene. Then it's let's actually try this Abacha stove. It's not so bad, right? Then the chairs are spoiled in the house, and then the glass door breaks, but you can't fix it. All right, there's no money to fix it. So what do you do? Now I get my first gig, small job. I did something for my dad. Money comes in 5,000 naira. What am I going to use the money to do? I use the money to paint the house. The house hasn't been painted in 10 years. You know, I can't fix the chairs, but okay, what can I do? I go to the wardrobes, pull out all the wardrobe dividers and use them to fix the chairs so that these visitors can sit down. You know, you rearrange the way the house
How are you
is.
doing that? You had a father.
That's why it's a man pressure. I don't have to. My father has his own pressure,
Okay.
right? And right now he has
the first son.
Yes, I'm the first son.
Yeah.
So you have 6 kids, right? His pressure is that 6 kids must finish school and finish school well. And even when they are starving, that school, they must finish it and have a shot at life. That's his own pressure. His pressure is making sure that his wife and the children are okay. And okay does not mean that they are comfortable. It means they are okay.
So let me pause you there a little bit. Gbenga, what pressures do you find as a man?
Current pressures or past
Current pressures, your pressures, I mean.
I mean, this is a apt and visual representation of the kind of pressure I've been through, you know, carrying the world on your shoulders. And I'm thankful for the kind of family I grew up in. There's a whole support system. So they never see you sweat. People see you outside and think, oh, you are, yeah, but they don't know what is happening internally. And I would love to say thank you to my dad. He's a fantastic human being. I've been a sports kid. He's always been there for me. I'll give you an example. I went to Atlantico. Atlantico is one of the most expensive schools in Nigeria.
That's why you look so fresh. Hey, whole boys.
And I repeated SS2 not because I was done, but I was just playing. I didn't care about my studies. I was entertaining my classmates. And my dad, when I go home with my result, I thought I was going to a public school. I know this is it. It's not like he had money. He's a very honest, hardworking Nigerian, and he values quality education. But I was taking that for granted. My dad just looked at me and said, I hope you've learned your lessons. Do better next time. I thought I was going to get a preaching, and he never referred to it that you, this boy, you're just playing football, you're doing this up and down. That's why you repeat it. My dad doesn't do that. He's a proper gentleman, and that singular act of his just changed my whole trajectory of life. So I've been through, pressures, emotional pressures, family pressure, and I think this topic is different from Nigerians because we live in a totally different reality. I went to Atlantico. I'm not sure a lot of my classmates will be able to send, or even me, their children to the same school. Does that make us failures? You have that pressure, like you have to do better than your father. My dad in his 40s built a house. He had all his kids. I'm still trying to figure out life. Something as basic as, who do I get married to? I've been married before, but it didn't work. So maybe that's extra pressure that I have to get it right this time. So it's something we have to live with. But my coping mechanism is, I always see the glass half full. I'm an optimist, and I believe in the power of dreams, and what you wish for yourself, it would always come through. And I'm a living testimony to it. I'm not very religious, but I believe in the golden rule. Do unto others as you want others to do unto you. And hard work, self-improvement. And, just he didn't sit down and say, oh, it's going to be better, or, life would. He pulled himself by the bootstraps and went out there to say, look, I'm going to make something out of my life. And I've always lived by that principle.
So I'm going to pivot from that for a sec, because my first counter would be that I'm sorry, you don't reflect most Nigerians. You're an a-hole boy. You guys are the rich, fine boys of night. No. Hold on, wait now. Your father did his best, but he still sent you to a school, and arguably, at your worst point, when you had your first test, in terms of your failures coming to roost, he put no pressure on you. He simply said, have you learned from that? Go with God. I don't think that's the typical Nigerian man's. Even when you spoke of that, you simply said basically, you learned from it, you were happy, you were relieved, and you moved, and then you built up. But I could argue that you had an enabling environment that allowed you to do that. I'm not saying that.
I went through the Abacha stuff period.
We all did, but
my name was on Atlantico Gate. They called me Bill Gates because we couldn't pay school fees on time.
Yes.
Why would a school even do that? I'm still traumatized by that. Kids say the dumbest things. Like, they don't care. You don't know what work my dad does.
Well,
why would you put my name?
I think what he said,
my dad didn't pay. I don't pay my school fees. So why would you put my? And then they were calling me Bill Gates.
Atlantic Gbenga, I'm not attacking you. Your father's what I'm saying is
there was pressure.
Well, we haven't seen that, and you're still doing Fresh Boy. So, in fact, that brings to my point. This Fresh
We
Boy
don't look
thing,
like
right?
what we've been through.
God bless you.
You're not supposed to. It's not a badge of honor.
So that leads to this whole "we don't look like what we've been through" thing. Isn't that also part of the male thing where you always look like you're on point aesthetically? You're all fine boys, slim and trims and everything else. Looking young and
Come on.
Club Zan's aspect, guys.
Look who's talking.
Is there? Okay, I'm the host here.
Look at the mirror.
I can't. I'm looking at you. I'm the host. Don't pressure me.
Don't be a mirror.
Don't pressure me.
Yeah, a mirror.
So are there pressures to also not just appear good, but also look good? The way you dress, your body shape, and all that. And if so, how do you deal with them? And let me start with Mr. Apple Juice.
Come on.
Let me get my tea while you spill your tea.
Oh, so first things first, I'll say something. We live in this place, Lagos. Omo, to move and get things done in this Lagos, you have to leave and look the part. That's just simple, So you're literally in a place where if you want to get things done, major deals done, you literally have to look the part, and you have to be seen in a certain way, expressed in a certain way for people to think, okay, cool, yeah. We can give him a good, $1 million or $1 million or whatever contract and everything. But that's the thing. I'll use this for example. I'm a photographer, and a lot of times I've seen people who have been in the photography business as well, who have been in there longer than I have, not get to the level supposedly that I think I've gotten to, just because of the network and exposure. And that network, you get that network by showing and being and looking the part.
And doing the job.
And doing the job as well. I mean, as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
the job is, again,
Yes.
men are defined by what they do. So let's
Yes.
let's
So you literally have to forget whatever you're going through. If you're be going through like crazy stuff at home and everything, you need to paper over all of those things and just look the part so you can get the deal done.
Beyond looking the part, I even think that is a case of, and it's not just a society thing.
Yeah.
We don't share or want to wear our problems.
Mhm.
The only people that wear their problems to their face are the people that have come to beg to get stuff. That's our nature. So if I have problems, right, and it has its positives and its negatives, because that's how people are smiling the most are the ones that commit suicide. So you know that things are going on, but I'm not going to put it out in front of everybody. I'm going to wear my heart on my sleeve, right?
Why?
Because by the virtue of what your expectations are, is to man up.
Man up.
So why are you happy to continue doing that, given that it is a bad thing for you?
So let's put it this way, right? If it's about us, the moment my Father's Day post last year, funny enough, was to the very people who know that even the day is not about them. Happy Father's Day. That was my Father's Day. It's not about you. And I think the biggest problem is that struggle of whether it's about you or not. It's like your life has been given to you to take care of others. That's what it literally is.
Greater good. Yeah.
So that's literally how we live.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's not good for me. Let's look at it. I really, really need, or my dad or me, really, really need this massage or this drug to just, ease off. Maybe I'm having pain somewhere, but that drug is really expensive. And then the alternative, because everything's opportunity cost, is that, it means that so and so will delay, or this person will not go to the school, I want this kid to go through. It's simple. That's pain. I have been having it done. It will shoulder it, till at least you make a little more money.
So that.
So yeah.
So here's the problem with that. It is the damage it causes you. Because again, that idea of I will shoulder it, I'm glad you use the word shoulder, because I'll talk about something briefly.
Yeah.
I have a damaged rotator cuff.
Was that from football?
No, it's part of, as you grow older, your muscles tense up.
you have
In
issues.
my case, I'm older and you be quiet.
So I just trying to say, because you know how you always blame me for all your aches and pains because I hate.
But you don't help.
Sorry.
Let's move on. And the really weird thing was, I've had it since like 4 or 5 months now. And it would hurt. And I just do this. But then I got to the doctor. When the guy showed me the cartilage, he said, you had aggravated this thing beyond the point where it's a normal thing to be fixed. You have to have surgery. Now, the funny thing is, had I done the first couple of times, right, instead of worrying about if I do this right now, what will happen here, the surgery itself is going to imply me traveling, imply me staying somewhere for a period of time. So, who has it benefited when I refuse to take care of myself because I think other people needs are there. Why don't we find the balance and say, look, I'm as important to my family as my family is to me. If my role is to safeguard them, right? Why cannot first and foremost
Take care of it.
engage in selfless self-interest for them? That's why you don't talk, because in talking and sharing, alleviate your burden, because there's clearly pressure on you. I know they say pressure busts pipes.
Yeah.
Or it builds diamonds. I think most men believe that
Is the other.
they're the diamonds.
Yes.
And then it's when things are going wrong, your relationship with your wife or your partner, or your friends or your family, then you now go, I'm dealing with so much. At that point in time,
It's already late.
yeah, and nobody can help you.
So,
So why don't we deal with pressure properly as men?
because those things are learned. You're not something that you just come up with.
But we're all men over a certain age and we can unlearn them now. Come on.
No. In fact, it's because you're at this age that it's hard for you to unlearn. It's easy to unlearn at the early stage if you've been taught. Now, if you have become something over time,
So would I say taught or socialized?
so that's still teaching.
Yeah,
Yes, so you learn either by society or learning to
Yeah.
But everything, so whether you're learning it personally or society is subconsciously or consciously teaching you,
Yes.
you're learning it.
Yeah.
Now you have these things and you have to unlearn them yourself based on your own life experiences. So if your life experiences have caused you to see that if I keep going this way, everybody's going to suffer for it, including the people who I'm trying to protect, then you fix it. But nobody generally is going to do that for you, because one, even all your guys are still dealing with their own problems. One. Two, by nature, even if you told your guys and your guys told you stuff, you will keep doing what you want to do, and your guys are not going to force you.
Of course.
Is when things are going to point out, it's like a surgery. Is that bad? Okay, what are we going to do?
Sorry.
We need to raise money. The same guys that have been telling you, I beg, weary, man up.
Yes.
They're not like, okay, how do we raise money? Because that's just how guys are. So those are the problems that come from how we've been raised and how our society is. The question is now, is the cycle going to continue when it's our kids? That's the real question. And for me, I don't think it's a question that one person can answer. Is, okay, you found your own situation. How are you going to deal with it for yourself? I think what I can say for myself, because everybody's reality is different, is that I said I saw my dad keep running on this until he had arthritis. And then when he had arthritis, I was very pissed at God. I was like, my dad literally takes care of everybody I know. Literally, and he does everything selfless. He doesn't charge for anything. And with all that and all the pressure of dealing with and not even being able to take care of everything we need to take care of, this happens. Funny enough, it turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Why? I saw my dad rest. And then for like 3 months, he just chilled. The work that he was stressing, that was still not bringing money, that we're still having these issues, he couldn't do it. We didn't starve. Nobody died.
The world continued.
The world continued. Then one day, he's at the window of his room. He's combing his hair. And he's about to go out. It's like maybe second or third time he's going out since arthritis. And then my sister, it wasn't on my mind, but my older sister says, thank God for this sickness. My dad starts to laugh. And we now got it. All this.
You need to slow down sometimes.
It's pressure. All for what?
Slow down then.
Good. Pressure.
Yeah.
You married.
Yep.
You're married.
No. Used to be.
Used to be married.
Divorced.
You are both basically in the available club.
Yes.
Okay. What are the pressures for a man on the market or looking to advertise himself as on the market in terms of expectations and all that? And are you able to share those pressures with people? Let's start with the the marriage faithful.
I have come to a place or point where I try to ignore all of the you're not married, but that's society. They will constantly, chip at you. Oh, okay, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this, you're doing that, but you're not married. It's just so interesting.
I don't get it really, you know. But
But you
it's
feel the pressure.
but I feel the pressure, and it's also from family as well. Everybody's just trying, like I say, you know, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're going here, you're going there, but you're not married. Like, but okay, can you just focus on the what I'm doing and everything? But no, you know. But the thing
What are you
is,
doing it for?
and the crazy thing is that, you know, there's like, is it the wedding or anything? Don't worry, we'll support you and everything. But the thing is, they forget that whole you're supporting me for that wedding,
Day.
that day,
Not in marriage.
well, the marriage.
Yeah.
They don't care what happens in your
After.
marriage after. Is
So-
that
Let me now dig a little bit deeper.
come on?
No, you've had partners before.
Yes.
Good. You have partners again in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Good. What are the
Partner in Jesus' name.
Come on.
I don't know if he's into.
If he wants to marry now, he's gonna be it will be just saying.
Sha, what pressures?
Partner.
Partner.
Yeah.
What
What
pressure?
pressure? I mean, what pressures? You know, that I can provide for her enjoyment. I can provide for her, you know, orgasmic enjoyments as well too. So you know, things like that. You know, like that's not pressure.
It's not pressure.
But that's a pressure. You know, like one day where you don't like, you know, you can't get it up. You'll be like, oh
There's a pill for that.
no, but that's that pill. That pill don't understand Nigeria. Yeah, was all good. But anyway, the thing is, you know, I mean, when you're with someone, it just almost always feels like, you know, the thing is, the plan is to be with someone who is a partner, proper partner. You know, when in business, when you have a partner, you guys work together to make things work. But in our society, when you have a partner, there's almost always an unwritten rule that the man has to sort of like take the upper hand in making sure that
provider.
yes, provider, the giver, the bringer, like, you know, that whole what I bring to the table thing. The man is basically just putting his money. And I'm bringing everything to the table, and then whatever she can bring, you know.
Maybe she's a table. You bring everything else on top of it.
I'll be, you know,
Not that way.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. She can be like a charcuterie.
He's okay. He's okay.
I'll stop now.
Gbenga, yes, thank you. Go ahead,
Yes.
please. What was your experience? Because you've been married before, so
Yes, and it makes it more difficult. I'm sure he can relate because
Come on.
you've been there before, and then you want
But
to.
he's still there. He hasn't been there before. He hasn't married yet. You've married before.
Yeah.
He's still looking
Okay.
to.
Yeah, so
Whiskey.
you've been there before. You under pressure to do it better because you've learned from your past mistakes and experiences, and you just want to get it right. And this conversation is different. This male pressure thing, because the Nigerian context it's special. We're a special case because there are lots of expectations from young Nigerian men. I happen to work in an industry where you need to look the part. I'm not going to read the news looking scruffy. I dry clean my suits. They owe me salaries they used to in my other job. No shade to them, but sometimes 2 months you
Nigerian
get
businesses tend to have that
paid,
issue.
but I have to look crisp and sharp. But they're not saying that. I've been in a relationship where a girl told me that. I do all the things on the side. I'm not just saying that I would be in this job and that's all. I MC and company on the side, and in the course of my duty, I've MC'd at the biggest place, presidential villa, twice. And this girl looks at me and says, you know, just because they owe me once or twice, I don't think you'll be able to take care of me in the future. I mean, when they say some stuff like that to you, it affects your confidence and trust in people. And you think, okay, I need to make money.
Come on.
And then you now make that money. And God blessed me.
Amen.
I got an international gig. So you make that money, plenty of it. And now you're like, okay, does this person like me for me? Did I know this person when I was broke? What do I want? Like, it's just
a lot going through your head, but at the end of the day, I know I don't want to sound too religious, but
God's
when
got you.
that right, yes, God has got me, and God got me to so many times. I've done really silly things in my life, and God has saved me, and is always there for me, even though I'm not the most prayerful person.
So
Yeah.
So you said there's pressure for you to do it better next time.
For myself,
For yourself.
and for, I mean, I'm a better person. I've let mistakes. I'm not going to be doing silly things I was doing in my phone. I'll tell you a story. When I turned 40, I cried. It was my 40th birthday, and I called a senior colleague of mine, and I said, "What's going on? I know this job. I think I'm not tooting my own horn. I am very good at what I do. I
Which is why
understand.
you're here.
Yeah.
Because you don't talk to nonsense people.
Come on.
So why am I still struggling to pay bills? Why is life so difficult? And I just cried. And then, I mean, after my 41st birthday, things began to look up. I can finally say that my head is above water, but it took a long time.
One last question on this issue. At any point in any of your relationships, when you're having these pressures, did you cry in front of your partner or unburden yourself to your partner? And if so, what was their response? Did it help?
Oh, we're men now. We're not supposed to cry in front of women. But I mean, my ex would say, don't worry, things will get better. I don't think she genuinely meant it. And I don't hold anything against her. It's your life. If you don't think this person has prospects, or if you're not in the waiting game, it go better tomorrow. Like, I won't hold it against you. We all have our different parts in life, and I'm glad it's a lesson at the end of the day.
What can we do as men to reduce the pressures that we go through, or at least make them more tolerable?
Good friends, fallback, family. I would always go back to family. My family has been a very good support system. I can always come back and cry to them. They will mock me. And you're not going to have groups of 10 friends. You need 3 or 4 sure guys. Guy, you don't read. Please send me that 50K or 20K or something. We need it. We need people that we're able to fall back to once in a while. It doesn't mean we have this pride we carry around. And if it's a loan, make sure it's a loan, payback. And if it's dash, they dash you. But and also, if you're providing a service, don't give excuses. Deliver and be honest and upfront. Yeah.
Interesting enough, you've done the man thing and focus on money issues. Money issues are always going with it, but you have pressures every day. I mean, when work gets on top of you, look back. You have kids? You have kids, right?
Kid.
Okay, you have a kid. You have
Kids.
One of the biggest pressures for men, there are two. Partnerhood, as far as whether you're married or not. But the biggest one actually is fatherhood. So, put aside the money, everything else. What are the biggest pressures to you and for you as a father? And how do you cope? Where do you cope? Because money is always going to be a problem. And regardless that with money, there's always usually a way to solve it if you look for it. Because it's external. Kids are different. Kids are internal. Kids can't be put away. And as a father, you have to look at it from the perspective of you are the standard for this kid. So that is not in itself a pressure on how do you deal with that? And again, who helps you cope? Because for me, the key thing is we have the pressure, but how do we deal with that pressure? So Chuka.
Okay, so I think the first thing is understanding why the pressure is. A lot of people, they think the pressure is provision in terms of monetary provision.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem starts for most families. So they go after that monetary provision with everything. But to go after that thing, the thing you expend the most is time. And time is finite. So there's 24 hours a day you have allocated. How much of that time have you allocated to being actually with the person you say you're providing for. Because I grew up, like I said, things were not rosy. And I remember my dad used to take us to school. We used to walk to school. They would walk us to school. Not that we can come in cars, we would walk. But it's with my dad, And it became a thing to look forward to. And it's still a strong memory. The songs he would sing as I walking down, all that. Seeing those things gave me clarity of what I should be focusing on. Because I don't remember the things he bought me.
Yes.
I remember times that we spent.
But you lived in a different generation. The pressures are different.
The pressures
Yeah.
are the same. The ways they show are different. And I'll say why I say this. He wanted to give you the best. You want to give your children the best. It's the same pressure. It's just how it translates today. Unfortunately, today it seems to translate in iPads and tablets and stuff like that. But I take my kids home from school every day. It's a given. No matter what is happening, no matter where I have a meeting, whatever, I'm going to take my kids home. My wife takes them to school, I bring them home. So guaranteed every day we're going to spend time. And there are rules when we're going home. And one of the things I'm happy about is that I don't drive, so I'm in the back seat with them. No matter whether it's a private car or it's an Uber, we're in the back seat together. There are rules. There are no devices. It is us. So whether we talk until they sleep or we do whatever, it is us. And we discuss school, discuss problems, just be yourselves. So I'm knowing my kids as the days go by, right? So when you know them, it's easier to know what you're supposed to be giving them, not what you think you should be giving them.
Person, that's right.
So, and I think that's where the main problem is. Too many people are serving people they don't know. It's like that story of the man who always used to give his wife some expensive meal, and then we found out 10 years into marriage she hated the food just because he brought it. But he just thought you were providing. You can't do that. So I think the fatherly pressure, because of the world we live in today, everybody thinks everything stops at money. Everybody thinks that, but it's not true, because I know families who are paying far like a quarter of what I pay in school fees, and they are great. They are doing well. I know families that left Lagos and moved to Ibadan. The man is my friend, Clem. He moved because of his children. They were on the spectrum, so he wanted to get to the place that was close to specialist hospital. So that's what he did for his children. And he spends time with them every day. So I think the pressure is always going to be there. The problem is the one that we have decided that the pressure is based on the
To prioritize.
Yes, my children have to go to the best school. The best school is not the most expensive school. The best school is a school that allows you learn and follow your children's progress. If not, you're going to have a genius, in quote, that two of you don't see eye to eye. And that's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is you have a truant and a complete layabout who wasted all your money and you still don't see eye to eye.
Namdi,
Yeah.
you don't have any kids yet, but they're coming in Jesus' name. So let's look at you as someone preparing to be a father.
Oh,
What pressures do you impose upon yourself? And how does that influence your thinking?
a few years ago, I had this pressure where I was like, oh, this thing, I want to do it to my kid, or teach him how to play football, do this, that sort of thing. But then when I turned 40, I said to myself, no one can beat me again. Nobody can beat me again. So my time is my time. I deliberately found a way to depressurize and say, when it happens, it will happen. And then when it does happen, this is how I approach fatherhood. This is how I'm going to approach it. And then at the same time, I've left a leeway for myself where I could make sure that if I have to adjust, depending on what kind of personality my child has, then I'll adjust to that. But I'm definitely, thinking about that a lot. And then the pressure's there. I'm just thinking, oh my God, should I, try and make sure I get this child before the certain age or before that certain age, or those health issues. That's what I say. It's a pressure. Health. It's a pressure. Of course,
That's why you're drinking juice.
I mean, these things, they're great. Imagine a child coming out of all this awesomeness. It was mad. It's mad. So it's great. So it's great. It's not mad, but but these are the pressures, But I'm in my head, I'm just thinking, what are the things that I wish I had? Can I provide that for my child? Emotionally, can I provide that in this economy, in this prevailing situation in Nigeria? Those are the sort of things I think about.
As successful as possible, advice for your people going with pressure. What do you say to your fellow man or in pressure? Chuka?
There'll always be pressure. Accept it. I think that's the first thing you do that allows you to be all right. Once you do that, then, like Gbenga said, find your support system. Those two things are inevitable.
Yes.
Breathing is pressure.
Namdi?
Apple juice is great. It really is it makes things, apart from that though, like he said, the support system. Listen, I think that is one of the most important things that a lot of fathers or men in the past era didn't have. They just thought it was just them. That if they talk to other people, that they'll be like, oh, but you need to realize that, find people. They are perfect. Just find people who can support you, who can listen to you. We're just like, yes, your partner is there, but you need a support system.
Besides that.
Not just drinking bodies, a support system.
Gbenga?
Ride the storm, life goes on.
Hey, baddest.
Come
That's
on.
a part of life. And I would always advise people to, I read a lot of biographies. I've seen great men, you read their stories, you think they're not going to be anything in life. I talk to my father-in-law. It's good to talk to older people too, and learn lessons of life. As long as you have a goal and you're focused and you don't do harm onto your fellow man, I think God in his infinite mercies will make things easy for you. So when those pressures come, be solution oriented, that there's going to be, the clouds will pass, there will be an overcast and better days will come. So think good in your head and it happens. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. Yeah.
Good.
Thank you. On that note, pressure is over. Thank you very much. I have to post this thing, so the pressure is always on me. But thank you very much for leaving that pressure. I appreciate you all. Thank you,
It was a
gentlemen.
pleasure doing this.
So we out.
Hi, my name is Gbenga Aborowa. I'm an international broadcast journalist.
This is Chuka Obi. I'm a creative.
I'm Alistair, and I'm awesome, and I'm in the company
Of men.